Do you want to learn English the natural way? Well, in this video, you're going to learn English with the comprehensible input method. All you need to do is watch, listen, and you will learn new English vocabulary. Today, I'm in London and we're going to go to a monument. We're going to go to the place where the Great Fire of London started. So, let's go. Okay, so first of all, we need to get there. We're near Paddington station. We need to get across to the other side there, to that station called Monument. So, it's going to take me 33 minutes to get there, and I'm going to take the tube. I'm going to take the tube to travel over there. First, I'm going to get on at Paddington station. I'm going to get on the Bakerloo line, and then at Embankment, I'm going to change lines. I'm going to get off at Embankment, and I'm going to walk for 3 minutes, and then I'm going to get on the District line to the station of Monument. So first, let's go to Paddington station. Okay, we have made it into Paddington station. The next thing I need to do is find the underground, because I'm going to be taking the tube. And the tube is what we call the underground train here in London. So if you want to be like a local, make sure you call it the tube. As you can see, it is absolutely jammed with people. It is absolutely jam-packed because Paddington, or London Paddington, is probably one of the busiest train stations here in London. So it's no surprise that it's absolutely packed with people. As you can probably hear, that is the tannoy. Can you hear that voice right there? That is called a tannoy. So you can hear information about trains and warnings and things like that. You can hear it all over the tannoy. And usually the tannoy is quite clear. You can hear what they are saying quite clearly over the tannoy. See, there is another message being played over the tannoy there. That one was a warning for if you see any unusual items around, any bags which are left unattended. That was a warning to tell somebody if you find a bag unattended. You know, if you see a bag lying there and it doesn't seem to belong to anybody, then that bag is unattended and you should tell somebody about it. Anyway, I'm going to go to the tube now. I just need to go down here and then go left in there. And that's where you can get on the tube. And I'll bring you guys with me. First step, of course, is going down the escalator. Now, as you can see on the left here, we have some ticket machines. So these are ticket machines over here. But actually, you don't really need to buy a ticket from here. You don't need to use the ticket machine because nowadays you can just use your phone. So I'm just going to use my phone and tap to go through. Okay, we have a change of plan because the Bakerloo line over there is closed. You can see it's shut. The Bakerloo line is closed. So instead, we are going to, instead we're going to take the District line to Earl's Court and then change and then take another part of the district line to Monument. That's the plan now. See? We are here at Paddington, and I'm going to take the district line, the green line, down to Earl's Court, and then we will change here. As you can see, I'm just crossing the bridge here. You see everybody is getting out of this tube here. Everybody's getting off the train right here. You can see it's really busy because, like I said, Paddington is one of the busiest stations in London. So the tube, see the train's about to leave, train's off, and yeah, it's really busy here. Can you hear the tannoy again? See, they're always putting messages over the tannoy like that. It's another one about warning if you see any unattended baggage or bags.
The next train to Wimbledon will arrive in 2 minutes. The train now approaching is to Wimbledon. Please stand back from the platform edge.
Okay, this is my train. I'll be getting on this train for 4 stops, I think.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
This is Paddington. This is Earl's Court. This is a district line train to Wimbledon.
Oh, London. I came here at 1 p.m. because I thought it would be less busy. But no, of course, it's London. It's always jam-packed with people, with suitcases. It's always jam-packed. Typical London. So we are at Earl's Court right now. We're going to get back on the district line, and we're going to go to past 12 stops. There are 12 stops, and eventually I will get off at Monument. And you can see on the map here, we are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and there is Monument. So all I need to do is get down here to the district line platforms eastbound. We're going eastbound, so we're going in at the direction of east. Just look at how packed this platform is. It is absolutely packed.
Staircases and floors can become more slippery. Please take extra care when moving around.
Now that was a bit of an ordeal just then. That was a bit of an ordeal. The train was absolutely jam-packed with people. There were so many people on that train, and people were getting a bit annoyed on the train. And in the end, there were 2 fights. So first one little fight started. People started arguing next to me. And then at the other end of the train, another fight started between 2 other people. So there were 2 fights on the train because the train was jam-packed, and I think everybody was getting a little bit annoyed. The reason the train was jam-packed is because the Bakerloo line was closed. They closed the Bakerloo line. And why did they do this? Why did they close the Bakerloo line? It's because there are strikes right now. The train drivers are going on strike at the moment. So that means that they stop working because they want more money. They want to increase their salary, let's say, they go on strike. And so they go on strike, and then many of the lines are closed. This time the Bakerloo line was closed. That was a bit of an ordeal, a bit stressful. So I think now it's time for a cup of coffee. I'm going to go and get a cup of coffee, and then I will go to the monument where the Great Fire of London started. So let's go. As you can see, I finally got myself a nice little cappuccino. A little cappuccino with some chocolate sprinkles. With some little chocolate sprinkles on the top. I really needed this because, to be honest, I was pretty tired this morning. I did not sleep that well yesterday, but this has really managed to perk me up a little bit. So this coffee has managed to perk me up a little bit because I feel like suddenly I have a bit more energy. I really needed this coffee to perk me up so that I have more energy to make this video today, because I was tired before. I was not feeling like making a video before, you know, but this coffee has perked me up and it's really saved the day. Okay guys, this is the part of the video where I complain about the weather, okay? This is the part where I complain about the weather. The weather forecast on my phone said it was going to rain. So I bought this raincoat, and I bought this raincoat and another layer. But then when I got here, it was really hot. It was really hot, and I was sweating because it was so hot. So I had to take off my other shirt and take off my raincoat. And then just now, it has just started to rain. It's just started to rain again. And so now I have to put my raincoat back on, and now my camera is going to get wet. The weather in this country is really annoying. You can never predict what the weather's going to be like and what kind of clothes you have to wear. So you just have to bring every type of clothes with you. So that's the problem with the weather in this country. And that is the end of my complaining for today, maybe. So I'm here to see a monument today. The monument over here shows where the Great Fire of London started for the first time. In 1666, the Great Fire of London started one evening in a bakery just over here. This fire then spread. It spread all over London and burnt down so many buildings. I will put a map here to show you just how far the fire actually spread. The fire lasted 4 days and 4 nights. So the fire was burning throughout London for 4 days and 4 nights. 13,000 houses were burnt down, 87 churches were burnt down, and around 70,000 people who were living in London became homeless in just 4 nights. The thing is, this happened in 1666. So you have to understand that there was no fire service. You could not call 999 and call the fire service. There was no fire service, right? So the people of London just had to try and put out the fire any way that they could. They would try throwing buckets of water on the fire, anything really, because there was no fire service. And of course, there was no insurance. There was no home insurance. It did not exist, right? There was no home insurance did not exist, so the people who lost their homes, the people whose homes burned down, those houses were gone forever. There was no way to get them back. Those people became homeless, right? There was no insurance to cover you, you know. In the year of 1666, the plague, the bubonic plague, was spreading like crazy. People were dying. People were dying from the bubonic plague left and right. People were dying left and right all over London. It was one of the worst pandemics, one of the worst diseases ever in human history. And then on top of the plague, which was killing people left and right, on the 2nd of September 1666, at around 1 a.m., a fire broke out in the middle of the night in a bakery that was around here somewhere. After 4 days and 4 nights of the fire burning, they finally managed to stop the fire. They started to demolish buildings that were near the fire. So they demolished the buildings to stop the fire spreading. Also, the direction of the wind changed. So the wind direction changed, which helped them to stop the fire spreading more or spreading further. To the people who were living in London at the time, it must have felt like the end of the world, because there was already the plague, the bubonic plague, killing people left and right. And then suddenly there's a big fire that spreads in London, and it seems to just keep going. The fire just spreads and spreads, and it seems like it probably seemed like the fire was never going to stop. One of the only reasons why we have any stories of the Great Fire of London is because of one man. His name was Samuel Pepys, and he kept a diary during this time. And in his diary, he wrote all the details about the Fire of London. So actually, we know quite a lot about what happened during the Fire of London, all because of Samuel Pepys' diary. Historians were able to look at his diary and find out exactly what was happening during the Great Fire of London. The Great Fire of London transformed London completely. They introduced building regulations so that houses could not be built so close together. And from that year onwards, houses had to be made of brick and stone instead of wood, because all of the houses in 1666 were made of wood. They were built really close together, and the streets were very narrow. And this created perfect conditions for a fire to spread. So after the Great Fire of London, they started building houses with brick and stone. They started making the streets wider, and they started building houses further apart so that a fire could not spread as easily. Okay, now I've explained the story of the Great Fire of London. I'm hopefully going to go and climb up the big monument, the monument they put there to show where the fire started. So let's go. Okay, so we're climbing the monument now. As you can see, we have to go up this winding staircase here. So this staircase goes all the way up. This is a winding staircase. See how it winds up. So this is going to take me a while. So let's go all the way to the top. How you doing? It's a long way. Yeah, no problem, no problem. I could just squeeze by.
Yep.
Thank you. Keep going. I think we're nearly at the top, I think. I think that's it there. Yeah, we're here. Look at this winding staircase all the way down. Still a long way to go before we reach the bottom. I just got down from climbing that monument, and you know what I have to say? Climbing that thing is not for the faint of heart. That is not for the faint of heart. I can tell you that is a very long way up. The winding staircase seems to go round and around forever, and I think I underestimated that, how high that is actually. I had just drunk a coffee right before going up there, and to be honest, by the time I had gotten to the top, I felt kind of dizzy. I felt pretty dizzy actually, because you have to go round and around and around the winding staircase. And by the time I got to the top, I really did not really feel very good. I felt kind of dehydrated as well, because I had not drunk any water, I don't know, since this morning. And yeah, I felt like pretty dizzy by the time I got to the top. So let me tell you, if you want to go up the Monument Tower, it is not for the faint of heart. I passed by many people on the steps who were tired and could not continue walking. You know, it's a very long way up, and lots of people were sat down on the stairs out of breath like this, and one girl was there even panicking. She was panicking and sort of crying a little bit, because it's such a long way up and it's very narrow. The staircase is quite narrow and you have to go round and around a long way up. So I passed by one girl who was crying on the stairs. Anyway, they actually gave me a certificate for climbing the monument. I guess because it's actually quite a long way and it's quite difficult. So they gave me a certificate, and on the back we can see a picture of the monument there. The monument that shows where the Great Fire of London started. So yeah, I got a certificate for that. You do actually have to pay to go up. It costs £7 for one adult to climb up the monument. So like everything in London, it costs. You have to pay for everything in London. Was it worth it? Yeah, probably. There were really good views from the top of the monument, even if I did feel kind of dizzy when I reached the top. And it's really windy today, and there was wind, and you're really high up, and you have just finished going around this winding staircase for like 5 or 6 minutes. So by the time I got to the top, I was feeling pretty dizzy, you know, especially with the wind. And then you look down and it's extremely high up, and so I kind of was only up there for like 30 seconds, and then I came down because I was like, I want to get down to like ground again. Was it worth it? Yeah, but make sure if you do want to climb the monument that you are physically fit, because it is a lot of steps. It's a long way, so make sure you're fit. Yes, you will have to climb a lot of steps. So yeah, guys, it is not for the faint of heart. Climbing that monument is not for the faint of heart, I can tell you. Now I'm gonna cross London Bridge, and I'm gonna go and get something to eat in Borough Market. So let's go. Okay, as you can see, we are now crossing London Bridge here. There's the Shard on the left-hand side. Hello. People waving at our camera. That's the Shard over there on the left. And we are now crossing the River Thames down there. London Bridge is kind of an ordinary bridge, really. But the view is pretty good, I would say. You can see it's a very busy bridge. There are tons of people walking across on both sides. And you can see we have the typical London weather today with the dark clouds in the sky. It's probably going to rain very soon. which is why I'm glad that I brought my raincoat.
The Christ, because there is only one. We have an issue with Islam. Islam says that Jesus did not die on the cross, shed his blood for you, but he put a substitute on.
Okay, I'm going to complain about the weather once again because it was raining and I had to go inside because the camera would get wet. And then after 10 minutes it suddenly stopped raining and now it's sunny again. I mean, the weather just can't make its mind up, can it? The weather can't make its mind up today. That is the problem. By the way, it's summer, apparently. It's June. This is the 3rd of June. Apparently this is summer. Raining on and off. It's been raining on and off all day. It rains for 10 minutes, then it's sunny, and then it rains for 20 minutes, and then it's sunny again. It's been raining on and off all day. Guys, if you have any friends or family that can speak zero English, then on EnglishSponge.com we do actually have an absolute beginners section. You can go there and they can start with my episode 1 of my absolute beginners series. This series is designed for people who speak no English at all. They can finish the A0 absolute beginner section and then they can move on to the A1 beginner section, because a lot of people who can speak basically no English, it's hard for them because they don't know where to start, and English seems kind of impossible. It seems complicated and confusing, but I'm hoping with our Comprehensible Input A0 Absolute Beginners course, we can make it easy and simple for people to take their first step into learning English for the first time. So you can send them to EnglishSponge.com to our absolute beginners section. Okay guys, we have reached Borough Market. This is one of the biggest markets in London where you can buy whatever you want. I'm gonna try and find something to eat because I'm hungry. And you can see it's very busy. It's packed with people from all over the world. Tourists, everybody is here. But I'm going to try and find something I can eat because I haven't eaten all day. I can tell by looking at a lot of the people around here that most of them are tourists, I think. I can hear lots of different languages and I can see lots of different faces, you know. So I can see these are tourists. There's a butcher's just over here. That's a butcher's. Here you can buy fresh fish over there. It is extremely crowded. As you can see, there are people everywhere. I think maybe I'm not going to be able to find anything that I can eat really quickly, but I'll keep taking a look around. Just accidentally bumped into someone back there. I didn't mean to, but I accidentally bumped into someone, so I apologized and I said sorry because I bumped into him like that. So I apologized to him. As you can see, it is a tourist hotspot. It's clear that this is a tourist hotspot because there are tourists left and right. You can see tourists left and right around here. You can see there's a lot of artwork on this sign here. Let's take a look at this one. When exploring London, you will come across lots of excitement. By chance, I think it's supposed to say chance, not change, by chance. So try to take everything in rather than just rushing around to all the major tourist haunts or spots. Yeah, that's a good quote. That is from Richard Branson, who is a millionaire or a billionaire, a famous billionaire. 49% of people in the UK eat pizza at least once a week. Interesting statistic right there. Here we have fastest journey to happiness, and we have the tube, the map of the tube, but it's not the real map of the tube. It says sleep well, be grateful, eat healthy, dance, laugh a lot, help others, share, sing aloud, meditate, breathe, smile, enjoy whatever you do. Pizza, Franco Manca pizza, love unconditionally, enjoy art, be kind, meet friends. Good map. Good map. Not an accurate map, but a good map. Why not? Do you get it? Do you understand? Why not? Why not? You know? Why not? This one says, say no to diets. Say no to diets is saying, don't bother with your diet, just get fat. And who cares? Just eat lots of nice food and just don't worry about a diet. Don't just copy recipes, steal them so they become yours. Right. Okay guys, that's where I'm going to end the video. Thank you for coming with me to around London today. If you like this kind of video, there are plenty more on EnglishSponge.com. However, if you would prefer to stay here on YouTube, just click this link here and you can watch more videos like this here on YouTube. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.